Happy Memorial Day. Oh, what did you want me to open this up like Apollo Creed dancing in to fight Ivan Drago? Living in America. Well, I can't. I don't own an absurd hat like that. And also, many of the viewers of my channel and of these videos are not from the U.S. You obviously know we have tons of Canadian viewers. And I would never disrespect the Poppy and get Don Cherry all riled up. And also, we have viewers from all over the world. I saw there was one guy, when I checked the analytics, I don't know if he's using VPN, a guy in the Congo is watching this. What am I doing for you? You're watching hockey in the Congo? You ever see that movie? It's a wild movie.
Stop eating my sesame cake.
Check that out if you have some time. What is it, like 1996? Actually, it's probably awful now. But then also, I had some viewers in Czechia who should also be celebrating because you guys just won the World Championships yesterday. You got the gold. So there are reasons to celebrate on this Monday, including the fact that hockey's still on. You know, you think Memorial Day, you think summer kickoff, you think hamburgers and hot dogs. No matter how old I get, I can't get behind hot dogs. I can't get behind a food that has its own designated burp. You ever hear that? Oh, yeah, he's got hot dog burps. What are other types of burps that you can get?
No. Hot dogs. Dutch Country Hereford. Prize winners.
Hot dogs. I don't know if this is true, but a teacher told me this in high school, and I don't know if it's a scare tactic, but it's been lodged in my head ever since, and I've never been able to get into hot dogs. I'm going to speak in completely idiotic terms. That should be on. You know what? I'm not gonna do any insulting on Memorial Day. But somebody in high school told me I'm going to use idiotic terms that when they're making these meats at the factories. All right, yeah, the beef goes over here. We have the burgers, the steaks over here. The leftovers essentially get mushed together, and those are the hot dogs that you purchase. Is that true? I'm going to guess no, but the scare tactic was good enough along with the hot dog burps to keep me off the dogs. I'm a burger guy.
Go ahead there, folks. Pick yourself up a couple of dogs.
Are you ready to talk about hockey? I guess I am. So we got this Game 3 tonight between the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers. I told you I like Dallas for the series, and for me, nothing has changed. I really think that they are primed to go to the Stanley Cup, and I even think they're primed to win the Stanley Cup. There is that one asterisk that I think is about to be unasterisked, and that is that health status of Rupe Hintz. I told you before the series, this plays a major part in Dallas's success. Even if he's not raking up the points, what he does is allow everybody to slot in their normal lines and their most effective combinations, and there's been a ton of juggling since he's been out of the lineup. And if you look at every single game he's been out of the lineup, here's how many pucks they've been able to get by goalies. 3, 2, 2, and 2. So no games where they're lighting up the score sheet. And also, when you look at their team speed in transition from their own zone to the offensive zone, outside of defensemen, when you look at forwards who are great in transition and who actually have wheels, he has clearly been missing out there. They need him to transport that puck. I mean, Pavelski and Robertson are on the same line. They need somebody who can transport that puck up there. And I think when he comes back, the dynamic of this series is going to change pretty quickly, because so far it's like, oh no, Edmonton's right there with them. But I believe as you saw that last game close out, you saw more of that Dallas, I don't want to call it suffocating, but frustrating defense where Edmonton could not get pucks to the front of their net. Look how many people went under on their shots on goal totals. And that's exactly what they were able to do to all teams, including Colorado. Do not forget, this Dallas team has lost one game on the road. They were the best all season. And when you go into Colorado and win 3 games in a building that was the best home ice advantage in the NHL all season, I tend to have faith in that team on the road. And I bring up Hintz because he traveled with the team. So that means he's either coming back in Game 3 or he's coming back in Game 4. I don't think that the situation's too big for them. Ottinger played well in the last game. The defense played well. And everyone will be able to slot back into their traditional lines where they've been most effective. Because there's been one line who's kind of been carrying the load these last couple of games. And I'll bring them up in just a second because I want to talk about the Edmonton side. You saw Draisaitl have his point streak snapped. McDavid was having trouble getting pucks to the net. I'm looking at the shots on goal for some of these players on Edmonton. You remember trying to take the Avalanche? Nobody could get their overs other than like Makar. And interestingly enough, Bouchard keeps going over. So maybe it's the defensemen who are able to get a couple through. But I'm looking at some under on player props for Edmonton because they're going to have to earn their corn out there, as they say. Dallas is just not an easy team to score a bunch on. Even in that Game 1 win, they got too early, but then that was it until overtime. So they scored 3 and 1, and it's not easy to hold Edmonton to 1 goal, and that's what Dallas did last game. So the first player I'm looking at, if there was a scam member of that power play unit, you know who it is. If we all have to say, if there's one scam member on the power play of the Edmonton Oilers, let's say his name on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
What a scam.
I kind of faded him the other day over the weekend, and I know he randomly scammed those over 2.5 shots on goal because of that long clear, and he's got us on that front, and you don't have to take that. But I went back to that in the last game, had a grand total of 0 shots because he's a big defer it kind of guy. But in this game, I'm even going to take his under half of a point, which is well in the plus money. Because if you saw in that last game, if they get random icings, they get favorable offensive zone faceoffs, they put Draisaitl on the top line. And the guy who they kick down is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So when they get certain situations, they send Draisaitl up and they send Nugent-Hopkins down. So if that's the case, I like unders on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. A lot of factors there. Dallas blocking those shots. Dallas playing great D. Ottinger looking good. His potential semi-demotions from the top line and his tendency to defer. And we'll see if he remains on that top line throughout the whole course of that game. But I think that's a good calculated sniff on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Then on the other side of the puck, I'm going to tell you about a player who really impressed me and one who has not. You want to know the one who is not? Oh, you've always known. The same way you've never had your car, and that's Joe Pavelski. He's looking as slow and as awful as ever, going back to his ways of never registering points and not even coming close, and just looking so slow out there. If Rupe's out of this game, then I'm absolutely taking the under half of a point for Joe Pavelski. If he's in the game, I got to see, because if he's up there with Hintz and Robertson, I am going to be a little more scared. But right now, this Robertson, sometimes Sagan, sometimes Duchesne with Pavelski, yeah, I don't mind taking an under half of a point on Pavelski. Pretty sure he's pointless in this series. Actually, I'll guarantee it. So I'll go under half of a point for Joe Pavelski. But on the flip side, there's been a line who's had to carry that team who I mentioned before. And that is this Stankoven, Wyatt Johnston, Jamie Benn line. That was the line that was together throughout like the final third of the season when they brought Stankoven up. And I don't know if you guys watched that game too. Stankoven was the most noticeable forward for Dallas, creating things all over the place. He looked fantastic. They reward him with some power play 2-time. And remember, they're a team who distributes their power plays like 1 minute for each unit. And I really like him to go over 1.5 shots on goal. And yes, to register a point, I will take Logan Stankoven, who looked great. He looked like a young Theo Fleury, if anybody even knows what Theo Fleury looks like or plays like, because Stankoven, his height just kind of reminds me of him, and that lightning bug look when he's out there on the ice. I mean, he is so short, but he's got a lot of talent out there. So I'm going to go overs for Logan Stankoven. And then I will just reiterate, if Rupe Hintz is active, and how can you tell if he's active? Well, about 45 minutes to half hour before the game, they come out, they do warm-ups, they show what the line rushes are, meaning what are the lines that are going to be together? And if you see he's in there, yeah, I'll take Dallas to win this game. I will. But if he's out of the game, do you want to know what I will take? I'll take the under on the game, because Dallas, like I said, they scored 3-2-2-2. These games remain low scoring, especially when he's out of the lineup, because they try to do things more tactically. We'll see how it goes. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. You know the deal. It's Memorial Day. You know? Show the veterans you care by saluting them and then subscribing to my YouTube channel. Andy, how dare you use Memorial Day to... What do you want me to say? If you enjoy my videos, subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, do all that stuff. They're always appreciated here. You can give me a little Memorial Day gift. You can give me a big Memorial Day gift by subscribing to the Patreon. Oh, that was a pretty nice transition. It's patreon.com/Andy Francess. You can be a minority owner of this show and also join that community of sniffers on there who are exchanging a bunch of different bets in the chats that we have there. And that's where Josh is going to be posting his daily MLB picks every single morning. And then obviously we'll have football and hockey coming back again. You know how it goes. Hopefully I see you there. If not, no worries. I'll see you tomorrow for Game 4 of the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. I'll talk to you then.